Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Spiritual Connection Show. I'm your host, Katie Augustyn. So I'm the spiritual head of the Transformation Center CT, which is located in Westport, Connecticut. I'm also a transformation coach. I'm an energy healer. I'm a shamanic practitioner. Do a lot of different things. And I'm really passionate about helping you to be the best you can be and really live the life that you want to live. So that's what I'm about. At the center, we do a variety of things to get you to that place. We have classes, different workshops, trainings. We have once a month, we have satsang, which is all about, in Sanskrit, for in the company of the truth. So it's all about just helping you on your spiritual journey. We do a little bit of talking. We have a beautiful guided visualization from Radha, one of my colleagues. So we do some chanting. Anyway, it's a fun evening. It's online now on Zoom. So check that out on our website. I'm going to put up the contact info so you can see how to get in touch with us at the Transformation Center. And that's the website, transformationcenterct.com. We also have, actually have a new class that's been running on Saturday afternoons, and that's called Spiritual Connection and Evolution. So this is for anybody who wants to find out more about themselves. It's about helping you on your journey, getting clear on what you want. It's really a fun afternoon. So check us out on the website for whatever's happening. There's lots of stuff going on. Yeah. So, and those of you who've seen the show before, you know that connection is one of my core values. So I started the show really to connect with each other and have you connect each week with my special guest. You can learn from them about what they're up to and also about their spiritual journey and what's in it for you. So I'm really happy that you're here to join us today. And I'm very excited that my guest today is Dorina Leslie. Thank you for being here, Dorina.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I feel honored to be here, so thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad. I met not that long ago. We got to know each other a little bit, and I was actually she did an event this week at the Angel Cooperative that was really, really awesome. So I was so excited when she said she wanted to be a guest. You can learn about her as well. I'm just going to read a little bit about her because you don't know her yet, like I do. So Dorina is a massage therapist, alternative healer, and wellness coach. She can be found primarily, as I mentioned, at the Angel Cooperative. That's up in Ridgefield, Connecticut, and also at Integrated Health and Wellness in Danbury, Connecticut. So sober herself for over 8 years, Dorina is an advocate for young adults and teens who struggle with overcoming addiction. Through her own family's journey, Dorina mentors parents whose teen daughters struggle with depression, anxiety, low self-esteem, suicide ideation, and other mental health issues. And so in addition to her hands-on healing work, Dorina is really excited to come full circle with her advocacy work. She'll talk a little bit about that later. And, she's also excited to be offering the Alexander method of sound and vibration.
I need a throat chakra clearing.
Yeah, we'll do that with the sound healing. But it's called the Alexander method of sound and vibrational energy therapy, which she's going to demonstrate shortly, as well as BEMER vascular therapy. She'll tell you what that's all about. And she does this at local treatment centers, yoga studios, one-on-one, or really wherever she's called to do it. Yeah, so Dorina says she's most honored and humbled to be joining us today, and I'm very excited you're here. Thank you, Dorina.
Oh, thank you.
And as you know, the first question I like to ask my guest is, could you please tell us a little bit about your spiritual journey, how you got here, whatever you share?
Oh my gosh, it's well, again, thank you so much for having me. This is really, quite fun and an honor to be here. And I put a lot of thought into, what I'd like to say. And of course, this is 10 years down the road my awakening was literally 11/11/11. So November 11th, 2011, which, at the time I had no idea was this big portal for light workers to awaken and bring forward the divine feminine and the Christ consciousness. So it honestly was a fall down Alice's rabbit hole. It was radical. And, thanks to Natural Awakenings magazine, Erica was at our meeting the other day. I had grabbed a Natural Awakenings magazine from Mother Earth Gallery. And I just really started connecting with a lot of different holistic practitioners, including a holistic psychiatrist who helped me realize that this was, the Kundalini awakening. I never heard of the word chakra. I never heard of Kundalini. I never did yoga. I never did deep breath work. Like I said, I am sober 8 years. So I grew up in a family where, drinking was pretty prevalent. I'm Irish and also French Canadian. And so throughout my teen and early 20s and into my 30s, I definitely was a big partier, and I would say probably one of the most unawakened people on the planet. I can't even believe I used to smoke. I used to drink. I was dancing on top of the bar. I dated a bartender for 4 years, and then I had kids. And then instead of going out and drinking, many moms do this, have that 5 o'clock glass of wine. So I think for me, I was immersed in taking care of my children, and I had been an interior designer, and then I became a PTO mom. I was known for bringing in the local children's authors and all the local assemblies, which was really awesome. My degree was in English and marketing from Salve Regina up in Newport, Rhode Island. So I felt like I was putting my degree to good use. And I also helped launch recycling for our town in Brookfield. So I was kind of known as like the recycling Nazi. And I helped organize e-waste events, and we did a big Nike shoe drive. I was part of the HRRA task force. So little by little, I was, becoming more conscious. And then all of a sudden, boom, this 11/11/11 awakening. And honestly, Katie, it was really scary. I couldn't, I would wake up in the middle of the night. I would literally collapse on the floor because the energy was so powerful and intense. And, looking back, I know this was my gift. This was my gift of healing that came in. This is literally a God-given thing. This is not something that, I didn't wake up and say, oh my gosh, I'm dying to be a massage therapist. It wasn't like that at all. It was, oh my God, who can help me? What the hell just happened to me? And so I was connected through the Natural Awakenings to different practitioners. And I have to give a big shout out to Mary Beth Canty, and also to Anne Marie from Awakenings down in Katona, and Carol Essig, and Tracy and June from Kindred Spirits in Reading. Roland Comtois is my Reiki master. So on and on and on. There's so many teachers that I have to, thank. And I'll never forget when I first met Roland. It was May of 2012. So I'm 6 months into my journey. I had started studying Reiki, and I met June and Tracy, who basically had the same twin flame relationship. I was like, really? You've heard of this before? You know what this is? Because honestly, I couldn't talk with normal quote unquote people. They thought I was nuts. My family at one point wanted me locked up, and like all kinds of just craziness. And I just had to trust that this big thing happened for a reason. So I went to this thing. I grabbed my neighbor Renee, and I'll never forget, I brought my little journal from the past 6 months, and Roland called on me in a different way from anybody else. He said, and you, what are you doing here? And I was like shaking. And I said, to find my mission in life. And he said, you don't leave this room until you come speak to me. Speak to me afterward. And he was like, forget it. I'm going to tell you everything you need to know now. I was like, whoa, okay. So he slams down these things, this pile of purple papers, and he says, everything that you need to know is in your hands. And I had the journal in my hands. I also had, the energy, coursing through my hands. So I think it was a combination of the two, that I had this inner knowing, and that, anyway, all the things would come to me. But he said, I'm surrounded by angels, and I had my grandmother, Stella, with me. She's my guardian angel. She's my French Canadian grandmother, and she is with me all the time. And she wanted me to know that I am not nuts. I'm not crazy. I'm here for a much greater purpose, and that I will be helping the lives of, many, many people. They'll come to hear my voice and my words, and I will be helping many, many people to heal with this gift. So afterward, it was funny. Roland had said, don't leave this room until you talk with me. So I was like, all right, let me go up to him. He's literally deaf in one ear from channeling. I don't have this gift. Everybody has a different gift that comes through for him, but he's able to communicate with people's loved ones on the other side. So I stood in line and I went to ask him my question. I didn't even get the question out. And it was, am I meant to work with this musician? And he said, absolutely, emphatically. I didn't even get the question out. I said, what do you mean? Yeah, I didn't even ask. He said, it doesn't matter. He goes, absolutely. I was like, well, how am I supposed to do that? And he said, that's for you to figure out. I'm just laughing because it's just hilarious. So anyway, I started massage therapy school maybe like 3 weeks after that. I had started telling people I was studying Reiki, and they would say, oh my gosh, my massage therapist does Reiki. I was like, really? Well, maybe that'll help me become normal.
Well, it's a great combination to do those two together,
it is,
right?
but again, Katie, I had no education of anything. I just literally like, whoo, okay. It was like waking up in a master's class, just here you go. Like, yeah. So anyway, I started massage therapy school and graduated December of 2013. So really 8 years ago, and got sober just before I graduated. I was heading to France for a Magdalene pilgrimage. And I had, again, it was Roland. It was funny. He had done an event. My friend Tanya, who had passed away, had come through with a big message, like, you need to get out there. You have this beautiful gift of healing. I had helped her. I was doing Reiki energy with her before she passed away. And anyway, he had invited us back to this special event. So it was a very small group of people. And my grandmother came through. I had been giving Reiki once a week down in New Jersey at Sunrise Detox, about 10 or 12 patients a week. And then I would swing by the liquor store and I would get my big bottle of wine. So I was clearly, not in alignment here. It'd be like swinging through McDonald's and trying to do my nutrition work here. Doesn't line up. So, I had tried for a long time. I would try to skip days. I would try to measure. I switched to vodka. I was allergic to vodka, so I'd go back to the wine, and nothing was working. And ultimately, a few weeks after this meeting with Roland and this small group, I went to a Keith Urban concert up in Rhode Island. My girlfriend was sober at the time. I don't think she's sober any longer. Anyway, she handed me a glass of wine at 3 p.m. And needless to say, this was August 10th. And my husband and her husband went out and got 2 6-inch Subway sandwiches. It was like 100 degrees tailgating, and I didn't eat anything. And I was so drunk. I fell down. I had bruises all over myself. I was videotaped. And honestly, it was really the most shameful moment of my life. So I woke up August 11th. And I said, you know what? This is not who I am. I need to be doing this healing work. I need to be in alignment with my purpose, my mission. And I never looked back. I just filled a wine glass with ice water for 10 days. Never went to AA, nothing like that. It was just like my awakening, flipped a switch and got sober. So I was very grateful and beginning of January 3rd of 2014, I was hired by Dr. Bailey and Dr. Shea, a chiropractic office here, right here in Brookfield, one little shift a week, and then gradually grew to like 3 days a week that I was working there. And that's Dr. Bailey is just reopened his practice. He retired for a few years in 2018 and now just reopened. So he's invited me to be part of his practice, which I'm dedicating Friday afternoons to work with him.
Oh, that's awesome.
But so I come from that background. I also have worked in, the busy mainstream spas, which are not for me. I have scoliosis. Something I'm also very passionate about is helping people with their posture and all their, many, many physical issues, as well as spiritual, mental, physical, emotional, all of that. And the spa environment for me really wrecked my body. I ended up needing a foot surgery in 2017 because my scoliosis, my hips, I was so lopsided. My parents said to me, what is wrong with you? Like, I was literally so lopsided, and I needed a scoliosis brace to kind of get back on track. So the best thing I ever did was leave that environment. And I have had my own practice since 2018. I was in Bethel for a long time, loved it, at Yoga Space, and then COVID hit. Had a really bad car accident. This is another thing with my journey. It's baptism by fire. I guess I needed to know, well, if somebody came to me with whiplash, I would be like, why the hell is this person's neck still hurting them, 4 months into it? Well, now I get it. So same thing, we talked about the advocacy work, and, a big part of my work started off with human trafficking. Then it led down to funneled down to gun violence protection. We're coming upon the 9-year anniversary, sadly, of the Sandy Hook shootings. So I've been able to lobby on Capitol Hill for the End Modern Slavery Initiative Act, and then that was with International Justice Mission. And then I also have been down to DC with the Newtown Action Alliance. And funneling down further from there, I'll give you an example of how spirit works through me. I went December of 2017, so it was the 5-year anniversary of Newtown. And one of my clients, actually, when I was a designer, Mary Sherlock, she was the school psychologist, I believe, who passed away. I had worked with her and met her husband, her 2 beautiful daughters. And that was just unbelievably, personal, and helped her with a few rooms in her home. And I didn't know, obviously the day it happened, my daughter and kids were in lockdown. Didn't know how much this affected my daughter. She still to this day has nightmares about Sandy Hook and night terrors and sleep paralysis because of being in lockdown. We're in Brookfield, the next town over from Sandy Hook. So it's all, 6 degrees of separation. Everyone's connected. Somebody knows somebody. So when I lobbied with Newtown Action Alliance, I was partnered with this woman, Joanne, from North or South Carolina, I forget. And her uncle committed suicide by gun because he was a veteran. And, it is really sad, the mental health issues that our veterans face, the post-traumatic stress, all of that. So as this powerful woman and I are walking into the Capitol, I'm receiving the phone call from my daughter's guidance counselor saying, just so you know, your daughter's so suicidal, we're calling, I have no other choice, but I'm calling the state social worker. Like, okay, well, Steve's going to have to be on hand for that. And it was perfect because I had been on the ground. We were kind of in the middle of that freshman year. So by the end of freshman year, things were really solidified. I had to find a psychiatrist, get medication. Just a lot of mental health issues for my daughter started, coming through. There was bullying, low self-esteem. I didn't realize that she was drinking to black out. all kinds of stuff. So my work started to really funnel down to that suicide prevention. And I have had done work with the AFSP, organizing walks in Brookfield. And more recently, I'm an advocate for Newport Academy. So I usually get a call, maybe like once or twice a month, from a parent whose daughter is struggling with suicide ideation. And it's been really powerful to have the opportunity to mentor a woman or dad or both. And my goal, my mission is, now that my daughter's been 2 years free from Newport Academy, she ended up there for 75 days. And then from there, she went to a residential treatment center out in Utah for all of 2020. My goal is to bring this BEMER therapy that I'm working with and the sound therapy to Newport Academy and to other local treatment centers. So it's all come full circle. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, totally. I love your, I mean, it's a very personal story, you know, because everybody's so different, but it feels perfect for you that this is like what you are meant to do. And it's a variety of things. It's not just one thing, but you're using all your gifts to help other people, which is beautiful. You know what? I just realized, Dorina, I did not put up your slide earlier with your contact info. So I'm going to put that up right now. This is Dorina's website, DorinaLeslie.com, and her reach her at that number or email her relax@DorinaLeslie.com. I love that.
Actually, texting is so much better, Katie.
Okay.
Just sometimes I'm so busy, as we all are. You know, we're better at some things than others. So best way to reach me. I do love, as you said, to connect. I think that's one of the reasons God's got me pleased working one-on-one with people. I think that's a real important thing in this day and age, and especially, you know, with so much technology out there. I love that I get to do this beautiful hands-on healing. And I especially love the Angel Cooperative. I really feel such a beautiful space for me, and be able to spend, you know, a good amount of time with my clients. I'm very blessed. I've actually attracted 3 people into my life who are trying to get sober, and I love that. And so one of them actually came to me yesterday and been able to incorporate the vibrational sound therapy, which I use these flat chakra stones. This one's a rose quartz with the flower pattern. And the Om fork is pretty awesome. This is the universal sound of Om. This is something I teach a lot of self-care. This creates a beautiful vibration, again, the sound of Om, which really calms the nervous system and brings things into alignment and balance. And so the feedback from all of my work in the world has been, you know, really beautiful and rewarding. But at the end of the day, as I said, this is my God-given gift. I'm just literally here as a channel, and I'm constantly evolving and adding different things to come full circle. But at the end of the day, the one big thing that I've learned on this journey is there is no final destination. We're always learning. You know, I just had my boss, Dr. Richard Bailey. He's the one from Integrated Health and Wellness. He and I barter or exchange, and I really don't like to barter, but with him I do. So for every 3 chiropractic adjustments he gives me, I give him a beautiful massage session. So he's so funny. He's now calling it my cosmic massage experience because he's like, you've got aromatherapy, you've got the sound, you've got the BEMER, you've got the energy running through you, and, you know, obviously the tactile skills of you know, knowing the musculature, knowing the anatomy in the body. And I am very interested, as he is, he's a functional medicine practitioner, in getting to the root cause. So when somebody arrives looking for help for me, I know they've been divinely guided to me for whatever reason. and that I'm there to hold sacred space for them to kind of unpack their luggage. And I allow them that beautiful space. Sometimes there are tears, and that's okay. You know, I start off if somebody is, you know, grieving, and of course we've seen so much grief with, you know, this COVID experience. I don't like to call it the pandemic. I'd rather call it the COVID experience. And quite frankly, for me, the COVID experience led to an awful lot of personal growth. So I also refuse to buy into the fear of all of this. And, you know, I really believe that we need to move away from the mask wearing. We need to be supporting our immune system and trusting that our natural immune system, when we take a vitamin D and we take zinc and we take NAC, and I've got a nasal spray that kills the bacteria, and I take ivermectin, and, you know, I do all these things. I get outside, I move, I eat clean, I go to the doctor, I have a naturopath, I have an acupuncturist, I have a chiropractor, I go for Atlas therapy. You know, I just think that wearing a mask, the moment I put it on, I start dying. I just do. I can't breathe. I feel nauseous. I have a headache. I'm exhausted. I can't do my work. So if there was anything I would like to tell people about COVID, that if we can move out of this place of fear and into a place of love and acceptance, that it's all going to be okay. That would be one thing I'd like to say. But I do attribute COVID to bringing in some gifts. You know, the sound therapy, for example, is a way for me to work with clients who are fully clothed, doing this beautiful full chakra clearing front and back of the body, left brain, left side of the body, right side of the body. And that's actually how I work with my massage therapy. You know, people have said, wow, I've never had a massage like this before, because it is fully integrated, integrating all aspects of the person, body, mind, and spirit. And I work top of the body, bottom of the body, left side, right side, front and back. So it's really this very powerful, profound experience. But then adding the BEMER therapy and the sound therapy, you know, kind of it's taking it to like this whole other level.
Sounds amazing. Do you want to describe the BEMER therapy a little bit? Because we only have about a minute and a half left.
But BEMER stands for bioenergy, electromagnetic energy regulation. What does that mean? All the cells in our body, we're electromagnetic. And, you know, an example of that is when I had my awakening, one of the first things that I started noticing was that I couldn't use the cell phone. I had to like keep it 4 feet away from me. So the BEMER is delivering a beautiful signal that's 10 hertz or 30 hertz, so lower than the Earth's geomagnetic frequency. And it's basically waking up the microcirculation in the body, 74,000 miles of vasculature, brings in 30% more oxygen and nutrients, and takes away 30% more toxic waste. So it's all about healthy aging, detoxifying the body, anti-inflammation, helping people live their best lives, which is really what I'm all about. It got me back on track after a really bad car accident. It's an FDA Class 2 cleared medical device. NASA, the last 2 space flights, the astronauts had the signal sewn into their body. It's used by many NFL, Major League Baseball players, PGA Tour, Phil Mickelson, who just won the tour. Tom Brady uses this as his secret weapon. I mean, on and on and on with, can't say enough good things about BEMER. And I can include a link for that. It's in my website. I have a whole page on it, but come see me. I offer a free BEMER session.
Well, I'm definitely going to do that. I think I had one a while ago, but it's been a little while. So I'm definitely, thank you so much for everything today, Dorina. It's fascinating. Everything you do. It's just beautiful. I just love
thank you.
Everything you said. So thanks.
I'm looking forward to collaborating more with you. So thank you. And I'd love to come down to your home studio and
Definitely. So here we go. There's your contact info again. If anybody missed it, your website, and text you at that number, and they can get a lot.
Thank you so much, Katie.
All right. Take care.
Namaste.
All right. Thanks for being here today, everybody.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.
Um, mhm.